Coronavirus is hanging over the fashion industry's biggest events. This week, the organisers of Shanghai Fashion Week announced it had to be cancelled. Not surprisingly, in London and New York, Fashion Week events are going ahead with extra health precautions taking place. Designing duo Mark Badgley and James Mischka are the co-founders of the fashion label Badgley Mischka, and they join me now. Gentlemen, just how difficult is this for you? I know all precautions are being taken, but how difficult has it made it for this week, this Fashion Week?
It has made Fashion Week very interesting this season. It's been a lot of different things going on. The coronavirus has definitely impacted our supply chain, mostly about our manufacturing. Our samples all got out way before Chinese New Year happened, and the coronavirus sort of hit our factories, not technically hit them, but has hit the area right after Chinese New Year happened. So instead of going back on the 10th, our factories are reopening on the 20th.
So what do you do in that situation?
The big question is, when do the factories reopen? Yeah. All of our stores are waiting for their goods. Of course, we're all in the same...
all manufacturers, yeah.
We're all in the same situation. They're being very patient, but it's a very scary time.
But the stuff, I mean, I suppose there's no point in showing stuff on the catwalk if you can't then sell it subsequently.
Right.
I mean, you can make the one that's there, you can make the one for the catwalk by hand yourselves, and you do, but it's making it at scale.
Sure, it's making the production. That's the big question, and how quickly can we answer the buyer's orders?
We always think about fashion, the beauty, we're looking at the pictures and all of this, but at the end of the day, it's manufacturing like anything else, isn't it? It requires a factory, it requires a supply chain, it requires product.
It really does. People think fashion is nothing but glamour, and it's certainly glamorous. There's 5% of it's glamorous, 95% of it is everything you just mentioned.
What are you going to do?
We're hoping our factories will reopen on the 20th. They will have to ramp up in what would ordinarily take 5 days to get going. They'll have to do it in 1 day because we can't lose those 10 days of manufacturing.
Where are the factories? All over, or are they just primarily in that central Wuhan district? Where
no, they're not. Our factories are nowhere near Wuhan.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so that's a very fortunate thing for us. Ours are clustered around Shenzhen and that kind of area in China.
Some of our fabric mills are centered around Wuhan.
Yeah. Why is it a question of price? Is it a question of manufacturing cost that China has cornered this? Because many people are now saying, look towards other parts of ASEAN, Cambodia, Vietnam, other parts as manufacturing chain. I'm sure you've looked at that, but you're saying...
It's not just price. They have the skill level now. They're expensive now. It's sort of like how we used to be. They're a luxury manufacturer now. It's like manufacturing in Hong Kong or New York. But their skill level is exceptionally good.
Really? So the old days when you and I were growing up, made in China was the watchword for cheap and cheerful.
Right, not anymore.
Really?
Yeah, all the high-end designers have moved sample rooms there. They'll manufacture a high percentage of the garment, maybe finish it off in their countries for... nature of origin, but their work is exquisitely beautiful.
So, very funny, the length that this could go on. I mean, you're ready, you've got a plan, you're hoping for the best, you're preparing for the worst.
Absolutely, we're preparing for the worst. We have been outsourcing our manufacturing. We do have factories standing by in Vietnam. We have factories standing by in New York City if we need to use them as well.
So next time that you come, we can discuss what's the latest in pinstripes.
Sounds good.
Pinstripes and sequins, that'll be the fun part.
Let's leave the pinstripes. I've got pinstripes. All right, I challenge you for next year. Something appropriate for pinstripes and sequins.
Consider it done.
Thank you very much. Now,